You've probably noticed it yourself. The more we try to justify or explain our actions, the more trapped we feel. We give long accounts of why we do what we do, how life has been unfair, why people should understand us, and yet, this often leaves us more anxious, more reactive, and less free. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy with timeless wisdom, teaches us a radical approach. Stop explaining your life to everyone. Let your actions, your character, and your inner calm speak for themselves. Today, we explore 7 transformative lessons from Stoicism that can help you break the habit of over-explaining and take back control of your energy, your focus, and your peace of mind. Imagine for a moment a person constantly trying to justify themselves, at work, in friendships, on social media. Each explanation, each defensive story, is a drain on mental energy. The Stoics would say this is unnecessary. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often reminded his students that our focus should be on what is within our control, and other people's opinions are not within our control. Yet, we spend hours justifying decisions that we cannot even control how others perceive. Why? Because we want approval, understanding, or sympathy. But the moment we tie our peace to others' understanding, we give away the only thing that truly matters, our inner tranquility. Instead of explanations, practice clarity of action. If someone asks why you chose a particular path, consider whether a short, simple statement is enough, or whether no explanation is required at all. Action often speaks louder than words. Think of a person who quietly works hard day after day, refusing to post their achievements or defend every choice. People notice over time, not because of constant explanation, but because the results are undeniable. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often emphasized focusing on the right action, regardless of whether anyone else understood it. Your effort, your integrity, and your commitment are more persuasive than any long story you could tell. Another lesson of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Every time we explain our life, we are often trying to control perceptions, which is ultimately beyond our reach. Seneca, another Stoic master, said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. By trying to control others' understanding, we create imagined suffering. You think, if they only knew the full story, they would respect me, yet that respect is not guaranteed, nor is it truly necessary. Instead, direct your energy toward your actions, your virtues, your discipline. Do the work, live the values, and let the results naturally manifest. We must also learn the art of self-sufficiency. Stoics talk about autarkia, the ability to rely on your own inner resources rather than seeking validation from others. When you stop explaining your life, you are practicing self-sufficiency in a subtle but powerful way. You reduce the habit of seeking approval, and in its place, you cultivate inner strength. This doesn't mean withdrawing from others, it means understanding that your happiness, your worth, your purpose, are not dependent on anyone else's comprehension or applause. In practice, this can look like a simple but powerful daily exercise. Notice every time you feel the urge to explain, justify, or defend yourself. Pause, take a breath, and ask, is this within my control? Does this explanation serve me, or is it for someone else's approval? Most of the time, you will find that it is for someone else, and therefore, it is optional, even unnecessary. Over time, this creates a natural shift from reactive explanations to proactive living. Stoicism also teaches the importance of brevity and restraint in communication. By over-explaining, we risk weakening our presence and clarity. Imagine someone who, every time they speak, gives long justifications, excuses, and stories. The message gets lost. Compare that to someone who speaks concisely, firmly, and truthfully. The Stoics believed in speaking only what is necessary and leaving the rest unsaid. Life becomes easier when you no longer expend energy on excessive explanations. Your words gain weight because you have learned the power of silence and action over endless verbal defense. Another profound insight from Stoicism is embracing impermanence. Life is constantly changing, and people's opinions are fleeting. Why tie your inner peace to something that can change at any moment? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to consider each day as a fleeting gift, and each interaction as transient. Overexplaining often comes from attachment to how others see us, attachment to outcomes, attachment to a story we feel must be told. Letting go of these attachments is liberating. You realize that people's perceptions are just that, they're perceptions. They cannot harm your virtue, your integrity, or your freedom unless you allow them to. Consider also the power of personal boundaries. By ceasing to over-explain, you protect your energy and focus. Every unnecessary explanation invites scrutiny, judgment, or further questioning. The Stoics understood the importance of discerning where to invest energy. Seneca advised, associate with people who will make a better man of you. Part of that is creating an environment where your life does not need to be justified constantly. If someone truly cares about you, they will see your character in action. If not, you save yourself from wasted effort. Now, let's reflect on humility and acceptance. Over-explaining often arises from ego, the need to be understood, admired, or validated. Stoicism teaches that we are not the center of the universe in the sense of controlling perception. We cannot dictate how people interpret our actions. Accepting this fact, embracing humility, and releasing the compulsive urge to explain, we begin to cultivate a calm, grounded life. You stop reacting to judgment, criticism, or misunderstanding and instead live according to your principles. Finally, there is an extraordinary lesson in letting life be. By not explaining yourself constantly, you allow your life to unfold naturally. You act with integrity, pursue your values, and let your experiences shape the story without the need for continuous verbal justification. Life itself becomes your statement. Stoicism emphasizes that virtue, courage, wisdom, and self-discipline are the true measures of a person, far more enduring than opinions, explanations, or external validation. In practical terms, begin by noticing every interaction where you feel compelled to explain. Replace it with observation, reflection, or a brief statement. Use silence intentionally, and let your actions convey your values. Remember, the goal is not arrogance or avoidance, but conscious choice. You choose what to speak and what to leave unsaid. You decide where to invest your energy. Over time, you will notice freedom, clarity, and an unshakable sense of inner calm growing within you. Imagine a day without explanations. Your interactions are sharper, your energy preserved, your mind uncluttered. You no longer get drawn into debates over perceptions or misunderstandings. Instead, you focus on what is essential: your work, your growth, your relationships in which respect is mutual and energy is well spent. The Stoics teach that living well is about quality, not quantity, quality of thought, quality of action, and quality of attention. By reducing explanations, you enhance the quality of all three. The habit of over-explaining often begins with fear: fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of misunderstanding. Stoicism equips us to confront these fears with reason. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself, and so should we, that external events, including others' opinions, are indifferent. Only our own virtue and reason are good. When you internalize this, the compulsion to explain fades. You act because it is right, not because it will be understood or applauded. Every time you resist the urge to over-explain, you strengthen your self-discipline. It's a daily practice, a mental workout. Over time, it becomes effortless. Your inner life becomes sovereign, unshaken by external turbulence. People may still judge, misunderstand, or criticize. That is inevitable. But like a Stoic, you remain grounded, responsive only to what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your character.in relationships. This principle is powerful. Instead of over-explaining your decisions or emotions, you communicate clearly, calmly, and with honesty where necessary. Beyond that, you allow space for understanding to develop naturally. Trust in the clarity of your actions and the integrity of your intentions. If someone cannot understand or accept that, their inability is their concern, not yours. Stoicism teaches detachment from external approval without detachment from care or compassion. Consider life as a canvas. Every day, your actions, your habits, and your choices are the brushstrokes. Do not clutter this canvas with constant verbal narratives attempting to control perception. Instead, focus on each stroke, its purpose, its alignment with virtue. Over time, a coherent, meaningful picture emerges. Others may interpret it differently, but that is irrelevant. Your responsibility is to the integrity of the canvas, not the opinions of the viewers. Finally, let us reflect on serenity. There is profound peace in accepting that explanations are often unnecessary. By acting rightly and letting go of the need to justify, you free yourself from endless cycles of anxiety and defensiveness. Stoicism teaches that life is best lived through virtue, reason, and intentionality. When you stop explaining everything, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your mental clarity. You create room for joy, focus, and freedom. Remember, this is a journey, not a one-time decision. You will be tempted to over-explain, especially when fear, ego, or social pressure arises. Meet these moments with mindfulness and rationality. Each choice to refrain, to act instead of defend, is a step toward mastery over your inner life. Over time, the habit becomes effortless. You no longer react to external pressures, you live in alignment with your values, your purpose, and your own reason. So, take these lessons to heart, focus on what you can control, act with integrity, rely on your inner resources, practice restraint in speech, embrace impermanence, maintain clear boundaries, cultivate humility, and allow life to unfold naturally. Stop explaining, start living. Your peace, your power, and your clarity depend on it. This is Stoicism in practice, not as abstract philosophy, but as a transformative way to live every day, moment by moment. By internalizing these 7 lessons, you will notice subtle shifts at first: less anxiety, more confidence, more time for meaningful action. Gradually, these shifts compound. You begin to live with dignity without seeking recognition, to act with purpose without defending yourself, and to experience freedom within a world of constant opinions. Stoicism is not about isolation, it's about mastery over self, the most important domain you can govern. Let your life be the explanation. Let your actions, calm, and integrity speak. By practicing these principles daily, you will not only stop explaining your life, you will transform it. You will move through the world with quiet authority, unshaken by judgment, guided by reason, and grounded in virtue. The ancient Stoics knew this, and today, their wisdom can liberate you from the exhausting habit of constant justification. Live deliberately. Speak minimally. Act virtuously. Let the world observe without expectation. This is how a Stoic lives. This is how freedom is found. This is how your life becomes its own story, strong, clear, and unbroken by the need to explain itself to anyone but yourself.